Hello and welcome back, and I'm going to do a new series on Dota Underlords. This is going to be a how-to guide. They're going to be short, snappy and hopefully informative. And for the first video we're going to be looking at how to access the Dota Underlords menu, what we can do, what's available to us and how to navigate through this. So we're going to start with the top left. The top left section is a button for your friends and your party. This is where you can add your buddies and play with other people. Now here we can click on add friend and we can either type in the code, the friend code that you can receive, or alternatively get your friend code and get them to add you. Okay. Secondly, we've got the party. And party is where we can create a party and it will give us a party code, or we can invite people specifically. However, they need to have Dota up and running before we can choose from that list. Alternatively, we've got this party code here and you can copy the party code in order to have people join you. You have an option to hide the party code. Of course, if you're streaming and whatnot and you don't want people joining and playing with you, that's going to be an issue, or not, that's fine. And we can choose either a private match, go against bots, or a public match. Just be aware that if you're going on a public match, you will still be battling against each other as you would anywhere else. However, you'll be on the same game, so you can talk about tactics, what you're going, have a little chat, have a little laugh along the way. That's the buddy area. Now this section here is the main menu, so this is this screen here, and on this screen here currently it's got your rank, the daily challenges, and of course the big fat play button. Next one, this is the season info and a little bit more of the book. It's almost like the Wikipedia of the game, in the game. So this tells us the rankings, where we are at the moment. Currently we're on the smuggler. We'll soon be getting up to lieutenant as soon as we can. Got the heroes tab. The heroes tab gives a detailed look at all of the heroes available. Now we'll talk about the heroes specifically in a different video, as this is just going to discuss navigating through the main menus and looking at what buttons do what essentially. So you can just click on one of these and it tells you everything we need to know about the anti-mage, where he is at different ranks, and then the stats he provides, and we can use that to kind of scroll through. The resort button then changes them into different ways. This looks like it's been sorted by alphabetical order rather than tiered heroes and such. Next tab, alliances. It's a rundown of all the alliances and explains what this alliance does. So the assassin alliance, it tells us what happens at 3, 6 and 9 blocks, and it says here which heroes are applicable to that build there, so you can scroll through just like you can with the heroes. Items, again this is a list of items you can get when you're doing the loot rounds, and it's sorted from through tier 1 to 5, and clicking on an item such as Skull Basher, it gives you an overview of what the Skull Basher is and it tells us all about it. Now similar to the other one, we can just click on resort and then it will sort this out in alphabetical order. Oh no, this is done by so this is done through global, so these are items that affect all players on the board or specific player types. As an example, this one here only affects druids, whereas this one here we get an extra item for each loot round we do, or we get an extra item to choose from. So we've got offensive, defensive and support, and then here we are by name alphabetically. Okay, so by tier, by type, alphabetically. Moving across to here, this doesn't really do much yet. I think this is just going to be the overview for your battle pass, where you are in your battle pass and how you can move on, or how close you are to what stage. As you can see, we're not very far along, with just coming up to level 5 now, but as you can see we can scroll all the way across to level 25. You can use your scroll mouse wheel or you can click and drag like that. It also gives the info on the daily challenges, just like we saw up here at the top. There it is on the right side there. Finally, the coming soon section. So this is going to be a loadout, so I'm assuming when you come through here and start unlocking more of multiple things, for example we've got a banner there, but we've also unlocked a banner here, so we're going to be able to come to our treasure chest, our inventory, and choose which banner we want to select for people to see. This is going to be the patch notes, so every time there's a new patch come out we can read through this and see what's changed. Maybe you need to change your build or recognise who's been buffed, debuffed, so on and so forth, so this is the place to come. Settings, as usual, we can set your audio settings, video settings, game settings, everything. Now this here is really interesting because you've got, it's the camera distance. Now I've had a little play with this, and it's the distance from the board, so the higher the distance, the further away you are from the board, and also the pitch, so at the angle at which you see the board, so you can either be on top, or I'm liking it by default almost like at a 45. In fact, let's go about that, at that kind of angle. Okay, language, again, got different languages to choose from as usual, and we've got our recalibration. Now these are lots of different shortcuts to use. I personally don't use them because there's plenty of time between matches in order to get everything done. I like to use my mouse, but obviously if you're not in a position to, then that's fine. And finally, the submit feedback. The submit feedback button takes us to the web page, and this opens up a new page where you can then type in a form and then submit your feedback. Let them know what you think, if you've come across anything, and let them know if you've got any suggestions, bugs, you know, the usual. Okay, so this is just a quick guide to the menu, how to navigate through it, and the next one we're looking at more in depth, and we'll be looking at characters,